Here we do. How we do. How we do. Another season in the books. Hard to believe. Hello NSL world. We've just gotten through a grueling regular season, which at times seems like there's no end in sight. But at the end of it all, it seems to have flown by. So it's like that adage of long days, short years. So another regular season in the books that saw the Knicks easily with the best record and a really high level of parity um, across the league. So the playing games should be pretty exciting. This is just probably the last pod for Portland for this season, and just looking at what we accomplished in the last part of the year. Um, yeah, what we accomplished to end the season, what we're kind of dealing with at the moment, and what the plan looks like for us. So. Yes. So Portland, we made that flip halfway through the year to cash out our very valuable 2026 picks, and kind of put our rebuild plans aside and just invest in some star power what we could. So this number here, 27 wins and 16 losses, was from weeks 11 to 20 during the regular season. So a good finish considering, especially considering we had Luca probably missed 3 or 4 weeks. Ant probably missed 3 or 4 weeks as well. Anthony Black missed a month. Um, Cooper Flag missed some time. So each week was a different lineup, which isn't unusual. With all the high injury rate, every team's dealing with injuries on the fly. But 27 and 16. So if we extrapolate that out to a whole season, that's in the low to mid 50s in terms of wins, which would have put us sort of that second, probably second spot in the West kind of range. But I mean, that's no um, great discovery of information. We've put together a really strong team after that week 9, week 10 trade flurry. Um, I was going back and looking through the data. So I think we had 2 weeks where we had all our stars and all of our key role players. I think Anthony Black missed one of those weeks, but despite missing it, we won 9 out of 9 games, which makes it really cool that it seems like the balance works and the fit works, but really disappointing that we're probably not going to get that opportunity for the rest of the year to show that team and demonstrate what we can do. So yeah, I think it was 9 games out of 9 games we won. So that was pretty cool. That was with Luca, point guard, Anthony Edwards, small forward, Cooper Flag off the bench. Yeah, so that was fun. Good to know we're heading in the right direction. And yeah, in those games where Luca and Ant played, and Anthony was Edwards was at small forward. The team just looked really good. All the clunkiness that you watch on the games when your team's not playing well or when you haven't got the settings right, that was just gone. It was just easy looks, heaps of open threes, heaps of assists. And we've all had those moments. You know when you got it, you get it right, and the results start to show, and you don't tear your hair out watching the game. So yeah, we went all in again. We're happy with what we've got, and it was a good finish to the season. And star power. So um, obviously, if you're going to be a true contender, you probably need a star to build around. And Luke is at this guy for us. He's a very frustrating proposition when he's on your team because um, a little bit like the Jokic syndrome in 2K. Uh, it's hard to qualify all of the amazing things he does in real life because it is so intelligent and so nuanced and such quick thinking, whereas the 2K engine doesn't run like that. So it forces Luca into making some really bad decisions in terms of shooting most of the time, which can be really frustrating. But when we are playing well as a team, like when I mentioned that lineup that won 9 out of 9 games, Luke is easily the best player on the court. Like he's setting everybody up. Um, he was truly maximized when Ant was playing, and the word that I chose was symbiosis, and that's exactly what it was. Um, they cohabitate, I suppose, the Portland ecosystem, and it seems like both can get exactly what they need from each other and deliver exactly what the team needs them to as well. So when they both played together, it was awesome to see Luca actually getting free and spotting up for threes instead of just dribbling the shot clock out when he's on his own and taking like a really poor step back. Um, Anthony Edwards became a real playmaker. So when we played those 2 weeks, we tried to run a 4 out or 5 out offense. Can't remember the playbook we used. And it looked really good. Like lots of playmaking, very dynamic guys. Portis getting open for threes, Flag getting open for threes. So yeah, Luca and Ant, we're not going to mess around with that. That's what we'll take into next year, unless we get an incredible offer from somebody, which is nigh impossible. So we're very happy, even though we rag on Luca a lot. When it's going well, he's incredible. So I think he'll only get better in 2K. Fingers crossed, anyway. And as I said, when the team all were on the roster healthy together, everyone had their little niche and took up a position in the food chain that was perfect for them. And it was just a really symbiotic team. Team performance with, I think we ended up finding Horford starting instead of Portis, made our bench really, really strong. So we rolled out Horford and Caruso, I think. No, maybe it was Portis start. Yeah, probably Portis starting power forward for his shooting. And not a big team, not an overly athletic team, but very offensively talented. And that's if Luke is your guy, you kind of have to you can try and supplement his deficiencies as much as possible. But I reckon you've almost got to lean into doubling down on what he does really well. So incredibly talented offensively as a scorer and a playmaker. Just score. Just set guys up. Have guys who can shoot. Have guys who can finish like Ant or Caruso or Flag, and they can finish inside. So yeah, it was really enjoyable from a Portland perspective. The injuries were really annoying, but seeing that product, it validated giving up what we did for Ant and what we did for Luca because I think the floor is really high for this team. So fingers crossed. And as I've already touched on, um, second half of the year, lots of injuries to everyone. Like Gafford missed a few weeks as well. I think Coop missed three. I reckon Ant and Luca missed 3 or 4. Portis missed the last 4 weeks of the season. Um, and yeah, our injury crisis currently, like the regular season is finished, but obviously the planes are starting today, which we will take part in. But we really have an injury crisis on our hands, and it's probably going to end our season much earlier than we would have hoped. But then the breaks, injuries are just part of the game. But Luca tore his hamstring or strained his hamstring, I should say, in the real NBA with about a week to go. And yeah, he's been out indefinitely. That's the designation. In the NSL, if the Lakers get through the Rockets in the NBA, it probably helps Luca's case. But I think they really just want to get Luca right and they want him to be healthy for the future as well. So to not give his body a chance to heal properly before rushing him back is probably going to end badly. Like he is a guy who has soft tissue injuries, it seems. So there's got to be something that they're not doing that maybe they need to try in terms of Luca with his rehabbing and his building up strength and stamina. So he's out. No Luka for the play in, no Luka for round one if we make it. And yeah, that's a pretty scary proposition because we'll come up against Lakers or Spurs. So that'll be pretty brutal. So yeah, a real dampener on the end on the momentum we were building that Luka will be out as our best player. Will be out probably for the rest of the season for us. This was a surprise and not a complaint at all, but I presumed I was already trying to figure out the playing lineups. I was really surprised to see Flag and Portis not be in the playing games. Like I know Cooper Flag rolled his ankle in the last game of the season for the Mavericks in the NBA, and and he was like he didn't return for that game. But man, I know you can't be subjective about it, but there's no way Cooper wouldn't get up for a playing game in the NBA a week after that ankle injury. That's a strap it up, tape it up. Um, Painkiller, and he's back out there. Portis seems a bit murkier. He dealt with a wrist injury for the last 4 weeks of the season, I think. I can't find much information on it. Uh, but he was always commenting to the media. He was always talking about the Bucks uh, issues that they were having. So having them both out for the playing games, yeah, might sink us before the playoffs even start. So I know the Jazz have big outs as well, Austin Reeves and Embiid, but they have much more vetted depth and will probably run a much better starting lineup than we have. And he's got really good um, matchups defensively for Anthony Edwards. So we'll see how we go. We've tried to put together a bit of a scoring shooting lineup and balance some defense off the bench so our bench guys don't get crushed. But this is just a pretty patched together lineup. Haven't had time to try and put too much together. So as I said, injuries happen. We're a lot more mature about it now that this is just part of it. You can manage your window. You can't manage what happens during that window. So see how we go. We'll need Anthony Edwards to score about 50. And is it too little too late? Maybe. We'll have to play the games. But aside from that Portland discussion, I will be watching the playoffs very intently because I think it's going to be a really exciting playoffs. I know on a previous pod, a few of the people I had that pod with think there's going to be a real surprise winner of the NSL Championship, and that is has never been more possible than this season. It seems that no team has an invincible um, settings rotation combo, and there's real variance in the game naturally, but there's real ability for teams to re-strategize, change lineups to combat particular teams that I think, uh, yeah, would make for some really surprising matchups, especially for those teams that are versatile and maybe the teams that can do a little bit of sim testing. Who do I think will win? From the West, I think the best team are the Lakers. And I think they've got everybody healthy for the playoffs. And thankfully, that rule change means, for his sake, Wemby won't miss any time with the concussion. So probably Lakers out of the West. Lakers and Spurs probably are the only two I can see getting out of the West. Um, And then out of the East, I mean, Knicks over that season were better than every single team. But what I mentioned about being able to target in on the Knicks, instead of playing your kind of balanced lineup for the season, you can really target in and try to figure out what works against the Knicks. But I can't, I think it might be a Knicks Lakers final, which would be really exciting because it would see two GMs that haven't won a title thus far, very highly revered GMs and very successful in their building ability and their um, ability to make a winning team, but they haven't quite climbed that final hurdle yet. But we will see. So play-in start today. This is what we play the season for. And I know there's a bit of a natural lull and we lose 40% of the GMs who are a little bit fickle in their activity anyway. We kind of lose them for good until the draft comes back. But it's great to see people still heavily involved in Discord about NBA chat. No one's talking about trading yet, which was mentioned, which I think is a really great thing to do. I almost wish that was sort of the trade boards were locked until a champion was crowned, so we can give that moment its due and we can all focus in on that. But that's why the NSL is great, each to their own, and everybody gets out of it what they need. Uh yeah. So in closing the pod, looking ahead, we're pretty much crossing our fingers for the playing games. And if it wasn't ominous enough with all the actual injuries, and Edwards like almost had an absolutely devastating knee injury in real life. So I kind of hope Minnesota just lose in real life and he can just rest. Um, so yeah, it's just bad juju, bad energy. All our guys are going down. So it'll be crossing our fingers versus Utah, and then if we lose that, we'll be playing in against Clippers or Dallas, and it'll be the same deal. A bit of a shorter rotation and not our key guys that we need, and just fingers crossed. But good luck to Utah and to all the other teams that are in the play-in, starting really soon, starting today. And yes, it's a cross our fingers job. We're just putting it together on paper, so we'll see how it goes. And then if we bomb out of the plane over the next couple of days, then we still hold our own pick. We still hold a second rounder, so I can drown my sorrows and yeah, I don't know, start having some sneaky looks at uh, mock drafts to see who Portland can add for next season. Thank you for listening. I will stop sharing that screen. As I said, all the best to the teams in the playoffs and the play-in. I hope you achieve what you're after. Thanks to the admins for getting us this far and the ups and downs. You always hang in there and you support us to have this great league. So thank you. Yeah, enjoy the basketball, everyone. See you.